Peace and infinite blessings, beloveds. Astarius Miraculii here, bringing forth this resonance of eclipse in the quantum. Eclipse in the quantum. Milking the miracle. Today is a lunar eclipse, full moon, and we're going to milk the miracle from this lunar eclipse, full moon, by virtue of our relationship in the quantum field. Each of us are the microcosm of the quantum field. And so wherever the quantum, or wherever we are, is where the quantum is. We are the microcosm of the quantum field, and wherever we are, wherever you are, is where the quantum is. This is my third live today. I did a Facebook Live on the same subject at 11:15 a.m. in Eastern Time. Did a YouTube Live just finished with that was launched at 12 noon Eastern Time. And now here we are on Instagram. I'm very sacredly drunk right now from those previous transmissions, and it's a good thing to be sacredly drunk. So I want you to tap into the frequency that is available, that is emanating from me, that centers around this subject, eclipse in the quantum, milking the miracle. Eclipse in the quantum, milking the miracle. The moon is full at 5 degrees of Taurus in this lunar eclipse, which means the sun is the polar relationship of that at 5 degrees of Scorpio. And so we milk the miracle from this resonant connection of full moon in Taurus and sun oppositionally aligning in Scorpio. The resonant connection of Taurus and Scorpio has to do with values and valuables. We are able to milk the miracle from any and everything when we understand the resonant connection with who we are as the supreme value, which is subjective reality, a spirit wave of possibility in the quantum field, in the mind of God, in the eternal now, the infinite here, the quantum field. We are first and foremost a wave of spirit reality, possibility. And then when we come into manifestation, that wave, that formless wave, then morphs into the particle of a manifestation, just like here we are together. I'm on the screen over here, you're on the screen over there. And we have this resonant connection with one another in form, in objective reality. And yet it was the quantum subjective reality of our mutual desire and intention to circle in and share this time together. And no, you cannot grab a handful of our intention or a handful of our desire because it's formless. And yet it is formless frequency that creates all form. Thoughts and feelings create all forms, and blessings thrive before they are born. And so we come home to ourselves. Sound is a frequency that can act as a carrier wave that enables us to weave consciousness, to be a time weaver wherein we weave our consciousness into a different sector of eternity, a different sector of time along the course of eternity. And so we turn away from any of the linear trials and tribulations and unpleasantries in this three-dimensional domain. And we cast our gaze and our attention upon the quantum field of our greatest exaltation, every version of reality wherein we are the greatest exaltation of being, every version of our reality where we are love ad infinitum, where we are peace ad infinitum, where we are abundance ad infinitum, where we are sacred brotherhood and sisterhood ad infinitum, where we are the dance of the divine feminine and the divine masculine ad infinitum. All of these glorious realities exist simultaneously with this reality, this three-dimensional reality that we're in. And even if you have some painful things going on in this three-dimensional reality, there is simultaneously multiple versions of reality where you are totally transcendent beyond all pain. Pain is an angel in distress. We milk the miracle to therefore free the distressed angel. Because we, in our oneness with God, have a presence that is everywhere and an absence that is nowhere. In the recognition that all of our blessings have a presence that is everywhere and an absence that is nowhere. And so we turn the dial of our awareness to the resonant connection with our eternal blessings. We turn the dial of our awareness, the resonant connection with our greatest and most exalted resonance and frequency of love, the resonance of our peace that passes all understanding, the resonance of our brotherhood and sisterhood where we recognize the fact that we come together to reveal one another to each other, that when you circle into my life, you are a mirrored reflection of vital facets of my own inner self, and I get a chance to be even that much more intimate with my own internal resonance by virtue of you being that mirrored reflection for me. When you circle into my life, there you are on the screen of my life. And just like when we go to the movie to see a movie, we are able to engage with that movie on the screen. The screen is the means by which we have an objective relationship with the movie, and yet the movie is not on the screen. The movie is in the projector. Just like in truth, you are not on the screen of my life, but rather in the soul projector of me, because every being in all existence exists as multitudinous cellular counterparts within the inner sanctum of my being. Every being in all existence exists as multitudinous cellular counterparts within the inner sanctum of your being. You, beloved, have a cell for every man, woman, and child, for every angel and ascended master, for every ocean, mountain, and stream, for every mineral, plant, and animal, for every elemental, star, and galaxy, because you are the master soul, the master cell, who is the microcosmic container of the macrocosmic, all that is. You, beloved, are a soul in the body of the universe, and the universe is a multifaceted cell in the body of your soul. whatever it is that can be deciphered from the universe ad infinitum can be deciphered from the inner sanctum of your being. Because your individual being is the meeting place for the whole of the universe. The meeting place for the whole of God, Goddess Almighty. You carry the memories of God. Even as alignment with the awareness with Creator Source before the creation of your individual being. Before your individual being came into manifestation, you were still a formless idea in the awareness of God. And by virtue of that, you carry the memories of God even before the individualization of your manifestation. Because you are before your manifestation. You are before your individualization, because you, along with God, extends all the way from the beginningless beginning and all the way into the endless end. You are soul in the body of the universe, and the universe is a multifaceted cell in the body of your soul. I offer now some sound frequencies. One of the beautiful things about sound frequency, and we see so much has sprung up around sound healing, because there's an innate knowingness that sound frequencies can be carrier waves of the awareness emanating from the core of the quantum field. Sound is an access code to formless, or let's say a bridge between formless and form. It bridges into form because we can hear the resonance of sound with the physical ear. And it extends from formless because you cannot grab a hand full of sound. So align with me now with your sacred intentions. What it is that you want for yourself. And as you align with your sacred intentions, know that it is not only you individually intending what it is that you want to bring about in your life, that you are the entire oneness of wholeness of consciousness portaling through your individual mind and being to facilitate bringing the fruition of your heart's desire. The greatest elevation of your heart's desire is deity siring. God within you, inner divinity, siring your dreams into objective, resonant manifestation. The highest resonance of desire is when desire is the fruition of its own fulfillment. And that's the power of being the time weaver and the weaver of consciousness and the quantum observer, where we cast our gaze upon that which we want, in the understanding that even though it has yet to come into objective manifestation, it already exists as subjective, formless femifestation. Thoughts and feelings create all forms, and blessings thrive before they are born. So through great prior appreciation, flood your life with manifestations. The great manifestation is formless and the creator of all manifestations. If manifestation was your only thrill, you'd be in the grips of fear and strife, for thoughts and feelings create all forms, and blessings thrive before they are born. And all things of time and space at some point will be erased. And so align now with whatever it is that you want, in the understanding of the already isness of your heart's desire. Be where you're going before you get there. There is no distance between you and your most exalted blessings. They simultaneously exist all at once. even in the same space, by virtue of the fact that you have a presence that is everywhere and an absence that is nowhere. And so it is that every one of your blessings have a presence that is everywhere and an absence that is nowhere. And so we turn now the dial of our awareness to the frequency of infinite blessings as we weave our consciousness into oneness with our greatest blessings and our greatest victories in the quantum field. As I offer these vocal overtones, vocal harmonics, let your deliberate intentions ride the wings of this sonic resonance. I invoke, decree, and dream awake the full cellular ascension of my being, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, in this now, with the full support of God, Goddess, the Ascended Master realm, to include our Ascended Master Self, Father Saint Germain Sananda, the Holy Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, Goddess of Mercy, Archangel Michael and the legions, Ashtar and the entire command, Babaji, Raphael, Gabriel, clan of the trumpet angels, Aboriginal and tribal shaman, goddesses of fortune, angels of light, Elohim, clan of the serpents, Shiva, all Christ frequencies, all animal totems, elementals of fire, air, water, and earth, all divine beings of light, love, and ascension, named and unnamed, to activate the cells within my being who are your counterparts with the unified power of the One. I decree my highest good always operating in this now. I decree grace and mercy always operating in this now. I invoke, decree, and dream awake the full truth and reality of ascension in this now. I invoke and dream awake with every breath that I breathe the violet fire transmuting my whole being. I invoke and dream awake the full current of ascension in every cell of my being. I am ascended. I invoke and dream awake expanded God consciousness, fully realized in me as unlimited abundance, fulfilling my every need and desire. I invoke and dream awake the ending of procrastination, tiredness, blockages, obstacles, and unhealthy belief systems. I decree immediate abundance in my life. I invoke and dream awake my liberation from all karmic debt. I am infinite opulence. I invoke and dream awake my personal empowerment in every instant that anyone is impacted by my being and creations. I invoke and dream awake the infinite empowerment of my sexual, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, and financial relationship with life. I invoke and dream awake sacred sexuality, erotic innocence, and always express the sacredness of sexual force for pleasure, creativity, and healing. I invoke and dream awake world universal healing from all sexual woundedness and shame. I invoke and dream awake worldwide release of all manipulating forces and beings who would control humanity, past, present, and future. I invoke the angels and ascended masters to realign and heal all misused energy, to include the full restructuring of our DNA. I invoke and dream awake the transmutation of all negative and judgmental projections. I invoke and dream awake my constant ability to be centered and balanced in my psychic perceptions and empathic nature. All adverse psychic energies are released by me automatically, easily, effortlessly. I am empowered by everything. I invoke and dream awake my infinite beingness to receive all life's blessings. I am empowered by everything. I invoke and dream awake the infinite influence of eternal reality in my life. I invoke and dream awake a constant attitude of gratitude for my whole life, all my accomplishments and blessings, including the same for the universe at large. I invoke and dream awake the full blessings of God, Goddess, the ascended masters, angels, guides, and beings of light to bless this earth. I invoke and dream awake all my decrees, invocations, and prayers I have released to the universe and open myself to God's response. I invoke and dream awake the release of all past, present, and future lifetimes of decrees and vows which would bind me to limitation, lack, density, and anything not of ascension in this now. I invoke and dream awake the full reclaiming of my eternal self as powerful, loving, and fully aligned in abundant God consciousness. I invoke and dream awake the total dissolving of all manipulating forces which would bind this earth plane in fear. I invoke and dream awake the influence of the ascended master realm and angels to intercede and raise the vibrations higher, to bring darkness into the light, raising the frequency of love and God consciousness on planet earth in this now. I invoke and dream awake the ascension of my soul, your soul, and planet Earth in this now, and a moment of meditation together. We give gratitude for the sacredness of this now moment. We give gratitude for our awareness that we have a presence that is everywhere and an absence that is nowhere. We are so ecstatic and grateful to come home to who we really are. Realizing that we are the microcosm of the quantum field. Therefore, wherever we are is where the quantum is. We are the microcosm of God. Everything in the resonance of Creator Source is also found in the inner sanctum of our being. And we are grateful to be in this sacred remembering. We are the microcosm of all of the freedom that is, was, or ever will be. Even when we seem to be in a three-dimensional reality of bondage, simultaneously there are multitudinous versions of reality where we are the supreme resonance of freedom. By virtue of the fact that freedom is co-eternal with God, there are far more versions of reality wherein we are free down the corridors of forever than there are realities where we are in bondage and in pain. Pain is an angel in distress. Fear, doubt, worry, negativity, always. Days are numbered. The shadow aspect of life is not co-eternal with God. What is co-eternal with God is that which is of our greatest exaltation. And so we weave our consciousness into resonant oneness with the greatest exaltation of our future, the greatest exaltation of our freedom throughout the quantum field. Every version of reality wherein we are free, we weave into resonant oneness with now. We pre-memorate our greatest exaltation of the future, and we bring it into the now memoration of this eternal now moment. We commemorate our greatest exaltation of the past and bring it into the now memoration of this eternal now moment. We celebrate the fact that we have a presence along with God that is everywhere and an absence that is nowhere. I am present everywhere and absent nowhere. You are present everywhere and absent nowhere. All is well in the kingdom of this now. We are so grateful for this understanding. So grateful to milk the miracle of this lunar eclipse full moon. Aligning with the values of life that is the predecessor and creator of all of the valuables. And so we align with the resonance of the supreme value that we are. And we do not measure our worth by our valuables. We do not measure our worth by the outwardness of our life, but rather the inwardness of our values. We thank you, Creator Source, for aligning us in divine awareness with the supreme value of our inner divinity and And by virtue of aligning with the supreme value of our inner divinity, we are of the awareness that we can now birth forth every blessing that we want. We're so ecstatic and grateful for the understanding that all of our blessings emerge from the inner sanctum of our being. By virtue of all of our blessings living within the inner sanctum of our being, we know there is no such thing as our blessings that are to come to be. Thoughts and feelings create all forms, and blessings thrive before they are born. Every blessing that will ever occur for us throughout the corridors of eternity are blessings that exist as subjective reality in the inner sanctum of our being. Every blessing that will ever bring about are blessings that emanate from within us. My blessings are made out of the fabric of my inner being, as I am made out of the fabric of the beingness of God. God created all of us by virtue of the fabric of God's own being, which is breath. That was the resonance of reality where God breathed the breath of life into us, and we became living soul extensions of Creator Source, being the qualitative essence of all that God is. The full quantitative essence of God portaling through the qualitative essence of the microcosm of our own individual being. We each are made from the fabric of God, and our blessings are made from the fabric of our own being. And so there is never a time, beloved, when you are without your blessings, because your blessings are alive and well in the inner sanctum of your being. And by virtue of up-leveling your appreciation for your blessings, even in their subjective, formless, intangible state, in the inner sanctum of your being, you up-level your appreciation for them as much as you would appreciate them when they were born into manifestation. You're pregnant with every blessing that will ever come to be, and they are embryos within your soul, even though your human eyes have yet to see. Therefore, you see with the eye of mind and heart in the infinite realms of the great unseen. You see with the eye of mind and heart into the infinite realms of the great unseen, choosing wonderful feelings without concrete reasons, and all the riches of the kingdom are now yours to redeem. For this is the great femifestation, the womb of quantum creation, the primordial cause of all manifestations. We milk the miracle from this lunar eclipse full moon. We milk the miracle of the transcendence above and beyond all woundedness, the transcendence above and beyond all of the hurts that have come our way through judgments. Even though we've experienced those judgments and those hurts in this three-dimensional domain, there are simultaneously countless realities wherein we are totally transcendent, beyond and above every hurt and every judgment and every pain. We are the quantum observer as we cast our gaze upon our greatest exaltation that exists within the mind of God, in the eternal now, in the infinite here, in the quantum field. And we are the microcosm of the quantum field, and we are the microcosm of God, Goddess Almighty, and we are the microcosm of all of the love that is, was, or ever will be, and we're the microcosm of the peace that passes all understanding, and we're the microcosm of all of the abundance that is, was, or ever will be. We cast our gaze upon every version of reality wherein we are in our greatest exaltation, and we cause the activation of that subjective, formless wave of possibility to collapse into the particle of objective resonance and manifestation. We cause that accelerated vibration of our greatest exaltation to slow down enough in vibration to descend below the speed of light, to therefore take on the clothing of form and manifestation. For formless and form are one vibration. Form is simply formless that has slowed down enough so in vibration to take on concrete form. Formless is why vibrations are so accelerated above the speed of light, and that which is accelerated above the speed of light has no form. Love is beyond the speed of light, peace beyond the speed of light. And so we align with that love, and we align with that peace, and we align with that glory of our being. And we bring it all into resonant manifestation. We are grateful for this divine opportunity. I bring forth now the didgeridoo to facilitate this great manifestation ascending from the femifestation. Align in your sacred intentions with me. Thank you, beloveds, for presencing with me in the awareness that we share, a presence that is everywhere and an absence that is nowhere. I invite you to experience the other versions of this live with the same title, Eclipse in the Quantum, Milking the Miracle. The first live was done on Facebook at 11:15 a.m. Eastern Time. Second live was done on YouTube at noon Eastern Time. And then here, this live was 1 o'clock Eastern Time here on Instagram. Even though each of these lives carry the same subject, each one is its own unique frequency. You could hear something from the same subject 1,000 times and you would get 1,000 versions of that same subject. 1,000 versions of that same frequency. So partake of those other transmissions. They are quite glorious. Astarius Miraculii, transmission complete. Be sure and experience my website, Astarius.com. I have a great number of musical albums and a couple of books available there. I am also available for intuitive astrological readings and sound healing transmissions with didgeridoo and vocal harmonic. I can do it from anywhere, virtually. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. We can do the work. In fact, 80% of my clientele are virtual because of being national and international. And there are some that can come locally, that are in my local area. If you happen to be in the area of Central Florida, then you can experience it in person. And so I thank you so much for aligning with me. I champion you. Thank you for remembering who you are. Thank you for knowing that you make a monumental impact upon the expansion of life, that life is better by virtue of you. Thank you for knowing that you're an unduplicatable blessing even unto Creator Source, that God Almighty gets something from you that God Almighty can only get from you. Let that awareness be the means for the skyrocketing of your self-esteem through the roof of the cosmos. I love you so much. Fly well on the wings of Ascension.